RMM is a multi-tenant solution. This is going to allow you to serve all of your clients from a single pane of glass. You notice that our dashboard is divided into three primary panes. We call them the west pane, the north pane, and the south pane. West pane is going to be your hierarchy of clients and sites. You can drill down to any of those levels. Your north pane will update. It'll show you the devices at any of those levels that you drill down to. The south pane is going to show you specific information about the chosen device, a series of tabs corresponding to which features are installed on that device. We also have our settings menu. The settings menu is kind of like the heart of the dashboard. This is where you're going to come in and configure your top-down policies. For instance, if we wanted to create a global policy for patch management, we would come down and adjust those settings in the feature policy. If we wanted to deploy that policy, we would come to the patch management settings, where we would use a parent-child relationship to turn on and off specific policies. We also have our dashboards. We've got a few new dashboards that we've just rolled out. The overview dashboard is a nice one that's going to show the overview statuses, kind of a high-level 1,000-foot overview. You've got your problem servers, your problem workstations, your patch management status, managed AV status, so on and so forth. We've also got our monitored devices, unmonitored devices. Those are any devices that were discovered during the discovery that you don't actually have an agent on. And our new active issues dashboard that shows a correlated list of any issues in our environment. Let's talk about our remote access. We have our take control, our remote background. Let's start with remote background. Remote background is going to give you background access to a device, perhaps for those times where it's inconvenient to do a remote session, but you still need to run commands on a device. You still need to pull information from that device. That's what you get with remote background. Some tools may call this direct support. Basically, you get your command prompt with admin privileges, so you can run your IP configs. You can even elevate it to a PowerShell session. So I'm actually inside in a PowerShell module on that device. So I can run those super powerful PowerShell commands like get date. I can transfer files from my local device to that remote device, back and forth. I've got my system info here where I can end processes. Maybe an end user calls you up and they tell you that a particular software is slowing them down. You come in, you find that, you end the process on the fly. Services, maybe you're troubleshooting a printing issue. Your folks can't print. You come down to the print spooler, start, stop, or restart that service. We have your event logs. We show you the last 200 entries. They are color-coded, warning showing yellow, error showing red, and you've got your remote registry. So you can go in, make a change to a registry key, and then you can push out a reboot task directly from the dashboard. You've not physically touched that device. That's our remote background. We also have our take control. Take control is our full-fledged remote access. This is going to allow you to do attended and unattended sessions. You can jump into a session with an end user. If you have your own user account on the device, you can log in to your own account. You've got multiple monitor support here. You've got two-way chat with the end user. Send that over. You've got the resolution that you can adjust. You have support for terminal servers. So if you have concurrently logged in users onto the same device, you can jump into any of those sessions and support any user logged in on your device. We can blank the screen. We can block the remote keyboard and mouse. So if we're doing a remote session and we're find ourselves fighting for the mouse with the end user, we can block that. We've got some interactions, a laser pointer, shared clipboard, copy paste. We can do an audio call and we can do a video call from Take Control. We can also record the session. So Take Control is feature rich. You have all these management tools available to you that you can use for those remote access sessions. One of the highlight features of RMM is our ability to monitor your devices. We do that through our check system, as you see down here in the south pane. Whenever you add a device to RMM, we push out a standard suite of monitors onto that device. We're monitoring things like your Windows services to make sure they're running, your disk space, your disk health, that's an important one, backup status. We have two types of checks that you can run on your device. 24/7 checks, they run all the time. DSC or daily safety checks, they run once a day. By default, that's 10 a.m. for workstations, 6 a.m. for servers. Either of those check types can be added to any device. You see those reflected in the symbol. The calendar with a 1 is your daily checks. The circle with a symbol inside would be your 24/7 checks. If I click on more information on the check, I can see on this particular one the capacity of my drive, how much free space I have left. Most checks also have some sort of threshold tied to them, where I can come in and adjust that threshold. For this disk space check, that basically means if my disk space drops below 30%, or excuse me, 30 gigabytes, I will fail this check. That's going to be reflected in these green checks here. Any failed check will show a visual red exclamation point, letting me know that I failed. This column here would be your notifications, how we turn on the alerting. You have your email outage, your SMS outage, your email recovery, and your SMS recovery. So we can be a little more proactive, be aware of issues perhaps before your end users even call you up. Any issues that you have are being tracked on the outages tab. We will show you when they started, when they ended, the duration, and the cause of the failure. And that's how we do monitoring through RMM. We have patch management, where we can set up a feature policy to automate your patching. We're all about automation here. We can come in and set automatic approvals according to severity of patch types. So if you notice, I'm automatically approving critical down to low Microsoft patches. But also we can automate your other vendors. That's a supported list of third-party updates that we can patch. You can come here and set any automatic approvals for those as well. Then, of course, you can schedule when you want your patches to be rolled out. Do you want to reboot after install? Yes, no, only one required. If you have devices that missed your schedule, do you want to run them as soon as that device gets turned on? And then we can automatically reprocess failed patches. So that's setting up an automatic policy, a global policy that we can push out to multiple devices or at the site or client level. We also have our management workflow. This allows us to take manual patches and push them out to all the devices that need it at once. So one patch to many. If I want to see first which devices are missing these patches, I can click here and I see that I need this particular patch at 3 devices. But I can automate this by proceeding, setting my approval, pushing this out to servers and workstations, either or that need it, and to all of my clients or the particular clients that need it. So you have that ability to set that there. We can also roll back patches. Let's say it was a patch that was already installed. As long as it's uninstallable, let's go back in time just a little bit. Let's say this critical patch came out. We need to roll it back. I can uninstall the patch. That's your rollback. Again, same thing. From where? Let's roll it back from these clients. We can also do patching at the device level. This is probably similar to what some folks are doing in the break fix world, where they're patching individually, but we can do that directly from the RMM console. I come down to the patching tab here in the south pane. I can see my patch status. I've got 7 missing patches on this device. I can take action on any of these patches that I need to at once. Right click, set my approval, push it out according to my existing schedule and my policy, or a new schedule now, and then it'll ask me, do I want to reboot after I install these patches? So as you can see, we have a nice granular system for patching devices in RMM. So we have some built-in automation tasks. They're called automated tasks that you can run directly from the RMM console. You've got application control tasks. You've got cleanup jobs that you can run, exchange, install, remove software, security task, system control, and user control tasks. So let's say if you wanted to create a new Active Directory user or a local user onto a device. Any of these tasks can be scheduled. So let's say if I wanted to install software directly from a URL, I can actually come in, put that URL in. So let's give it a name first. Software install. Put in the source URL. So if it was out on share directory. Maybe it's out on my OneDrive or something like that, whatever that location is. And I'm going to download that locally. I'm going to run the file, and then I put in any silent parameters that I need for that install. Once I hit next, I can set my frequency of the schedule. So I can run it once a day, monthly, manually. Let's say I wanted to push that out later on today. So I find my date, and then I pick my time, and then I can push that software out using that automated task. Okay. So a really nice, simple system to do so. Additionally, we always have our multi-tenancy that we can use for deploying tasks, policies, or templates. So if I wanted to push out a task at the site level, I can actually add it there to push it out. I can also push out a task at the client level. Okay. So you have freedom there with granularity with pushing out the automated tasks. Now those are for built-in tasks, the ones that come inbuilt with the software. But I can also add scripts through my script manager where I can upload custom scripts to the dashboard. And you see these are all scripts that we've uploaded to our lab environment. I go to new, I give the script a name, a description, and I tell RMM what I'm using it for. So I'm going to use it for a check or for a task, which OS, and then I browse to that location and upload that script. We have support for all of these scripting types: PowerShell, Ruby, Python, PHP, batch files, VBS, Shell Bash, so on and so forth. This last one here is AMP. That's our automation manager. That is a tool that you can actually download to your device. It is our visual scripting tool, and it allows you to create visual PowerShell scripts in the AMP format. So if we notice over here on the left side of my automation manager, I've got all these objects over here that have a PowerShell backend. Active Directory objects, DNS objects, Exchange, file management objects, Hyper-V objects, networking objects, 365, registry, security, and even VMware objects. I can literally drag and drop them in. Now, this is a software install script that I created, similar to the one I just demonstrated on the automated task, but it's got a couple differences. One, I'm pushing out the Windows installer from an MSI path. I've come in and created an input parameter for that MSI path so that my location is not hard-coded to just this script. That allows me to change the location of the MSI path each time I run the script. I've also added some logic, an if-then statement. Basically, I'm searching for, is this WinZip application installed using this object? If it is not installed based on a condition that does not equal true, then let's go ahead and run the installer from this local MSI path. One cool thing that you can do with the automation manager is you can actually test your scripts. You can run them against your local machine to check your output and check your errors. So if I were to run this task, you're going to notice that it's prompting me for that MSI path. So I could actually put in an MSI location, and I can use that to test my script against my local device. It's already executing the policy. I don't have anything there, so it tells me it could not find the MSI package. And that's how you can test these scripts. So it's really nice. You can save this. You can upload this to your script manager, and then you can use it in RMM. And remember, folks, don't reinvent the wheel. We have our automation cookbook online. That's our online repository of already pre-built custom scripts. There's about 350 out there for RMM currently. So you can search for featured scripts according to whatever criteria that you're looking for. Let me update that. There we go. And you just search through the list. You go in, you download these scripts, you upload them to your dashboard, and then you use them in RMM. Another agent feature that you have the ability to use in RMM is the system tray application. Again, this is another feature that comes out of the box with the included feature set. First thing you can do is you can set the icon for how you want that system tray to show up. Obviously, it shows up down here in the Windows taskbar. And you can also modify the functionality of the system tray. So you can go in and set what type of functions show up there. Hyperlink, email screenshot, save screenshot, text, so on and so forth. So maybe you add an emergency support number, some email screenshot options, so your end users can send you a screenshot of what's going on their screen when they have some sort of issue. And you can include these client site device codes so that the screenshot will show you exactly what's going on that device. Pretty nice. In RMM, we have reports for most of the features that are available to you in the dashboard. So you've got reporting for your different modules. You've also got your client-facing reports. Those are probably most important. Within those client reports, you've got your executive summary. So this is an example executive summary report. It's going to be a high-level report that you can run. One cool thing about it is it can be scheduled, so you can schedule it to be sent out once a month. But this report gives you your health score or your high-level breakdown. This is a report that's designed to be sent to someone that can make financial decisions, or maybe the manager or CEO of the company. It's going to show you exactly what IT is doing on the devices, the coverage, how many workstations, the OS, things like that. It's also got this terminology explained section down below that I really do like, and it tells you what each term means in the report. So it's a very high-level 1,000-foot overview of what's going on in your environment. In addition, we also have our monitoring reports. Those are going to be more detailed reports, kind of like a true network assessment. Those can go out daily or weekly, and any of those can be configured in the report settings. We have our managed antivirus. That's a partnership with Bitdefender. They're really nice that you can go into the policy and you can configure how you want that to behave on your end user's devices. We've got the anti-malware module built in. So we're scanning rootkit, spyware, adware, potentially unwanted applications. It also has the behavior module using those heuristics, giving you a look at how processes are spawned and their activity. You can set the sensitivity on that. Another nice thing with our Bitdefender is that we can turn on the disk encryption manager module. Now that's an additional module, but that would allow you to encrypt your devices leveraging Windows BitLocker. We'll also hold those encryption keys for you for 90 days, even after the devices are removed from the RMM dashboard. In addition to that, we also have our MSP backup. This is an enabled solution. It's our own technology. We have two types of backup available to you. We have our documents only backup. There's no configuration necessary for documents only. It's available on workstations. Basically, our agent scans your device and it backs up any critical office documents twice a day. Word, Excel, PDFs, document files like that. And then you also have your professional backup. Professional backup is going to be your full system backup, your files, your folders. You could also do your system state, which is going to allow you to do a bare metal recovery. We can also do virtual disaster recovery. The nice thing about our backup solution is we back up to our cloud data centers. They're fully secure, AES 256 SSL encrypted. We can help you meet some compliances depending on where you live. We can also do an exact mirror copy to a local storage device. We call that the local speed vault. So if you've got a USB or NAS device somewhere in your environment, you can back up locally and configure that location. And you do that through these settings. So you turn on your files folders, you turn on your system state, you enable your local speed vault, you put in the path to that location. We have 28 days of retention, and of course we can turn on archiving for longer retention if you need to do so. So both of those are add-on features with an additional license, but again, all managed and configured and deployed right here from the RMM console.